My first point, oh, geez, I'm just not getting to my points. My first point, you got to believe it before you can see it. Oh, yeah. Believing has to come before seeing. Because for too long, we grew up having to see stuff before we believed it. That's the flesh. Which is why I ain't even dealing with your flesh today. Because in your flesh, you got to see stuff before you believe it. But God says if you're going to operate according to what I'm finna do in your life, you're going to have to believe it before you see it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you got written down at home in your book, your journal, about what God showed you last month, last year, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I don't know what's in there. But the question he's asking you today, do you still believe I can do it before you see it done? I know what you wrote, I know what you read, but do you believe? Believing has to come before seeing. Believe. In the Greek, it means to become convinced or to reply upon by an inward certainty. Believe. It is relying on an inward confidence that God has the power to perform what he spoke. If you believe it, then you can see it. Now, here's the problem. Two things we got to move out the way today, and then we can go home. Two things we got to move out the way. Your unbelief and your stones. I got to move your unbelief and your stones. Okay, where you see that at? Where you find that at? Look at the text. Yeah. Ain't even in that order. Jesus in verse 40 said to her, said I not unto you that if you wouldest believe that you should see the glory of God? Jesus is asking her a question. Didn't I tell you that if you would believe that you could see my glory? And I mean, this common sense. He was obviously asking a question because somebody wasn't doing what he told them to do. Now, somebody didn't believe what Jesus said. So in the text, Jesus asked a question to somebody who obviously didn't believe. Who was it? Who was it? In the text, her name was Martha. That's in the text. But there's a bigger problem than just Martha. Let me show you what the problem is. Go back to verse number 5. Same chapter number 11. Now look at verse 4. It says, when Jesus heard that, it's talking about he told whom thou loved, one whom thou lovest, Lazarus is sick. When Jesus heard it in verse 4, he said, verse 4, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. Strange, verse 5, he says, now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. Wait a minute, hold on. Jesus loved Lazarus, but he let him die. Jesus loved Lazarus, but he wouldn't come heal his sickness. Okay. Y'all I'm trying to let you catch this. I ain't trying to see, because if I start calling out stuff, y'all gonna think I know something that I don't really know. It's just the Spirit of God who knows it, and I'm just gonna say it. He loves Kushima. Is it Kushima in here? Okay, I'm just making up a name. He loves Kushima, but he still let her have cancer. He loves Brother Cornbread, but he still let him have a terminal illness. Got the word that they sick, that they about to die, but he don't move. But then they say he love them. Yeah, okay. Got a problem. It says he loved Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. Now he asked Martha, didn't I tell you that if you believe, you can see my glory? Martha represents The church. Because it wasn't the Jews that didn't believe. It wasn't the Pharisees and the scribes. You expect them to not believe what he say. But what do when you in church and the folk who's supposed to be the example for the world walking around in disbelief? How in the world are we supposed to come here every Sunday and preach a message of hope and faith and belief to folk who already saved but don't believe? And then expect the unsaved to believe. How are you going to be an evangelist to go preach salvation to an unbeliever to convert them, and then you save but don't believe what God can do? How you going to keep coming in here week after week, month after month, lifting your hands when you decide to do it, shouting and hollering at what bishops say, but then walk out of here and don't believe that God can do it for you? How you going to believe he can heal your neighbor but can't heal you? Martha, didn't I tell you that if you would believe, you can see the glory? So we got this unbelief that we operating in. Then another problem, second problem is this stone. Because when Jesus got to the grave, first thing he said was, take away the stone, which means that there was a hindrance. There was something, an obstacle in the way of what Jesus was about to do being made manifest in the direction of the recipient of the work of God that he was about to perform. Stone. In Hebrew, the word glory means weight. It's a word called kabod, means weight. Now look at this, because if you got a stone over a gravesite, chances are can't just one person move it. The stone is heavy. Y'all getting this? The stone heavy. Jesus comes and says, remove the stone. Translation, remove the weight. Because I'm about to transfer weight for weight. Go back. Run that tape back. Glory in Hebrew, kabod, meaning weight. I got that? Stone on the grave, heavy, weighted. Jesus said, take away this stone because I'm about to release this weight. He says, if you can release the weight you got on the situation you're trying to deal with, I can release my weight that can handle your situation. Y'all not getting this. Because what you got on the situation you trying to deal with is too heavy for you to work out. It's too heavy for you, and you still trying to walk right here carrying it. It's so heavy, you can't even carry it, says God, what I want to give you, because you can't carry this and that at the same time. So he says here, you got to make a decision today which weight you going to carry. Because if you're going to carry my glory, you can't carry around what you got right now. Ooh, Jesus, help me get this out here. If you're going to carry my glory, you're going to have to let that anger go right there. If you're going to carry my glory, that hate going to have to go. It's too heavy for you. If you're going to carry my glory, your envy got to go. Your jealousy going to have to go. Your bitterness is going to have to go. Your rejection issues going to have to go. Your fear is going to have to go. Your worry is going to have to go. That lust you walk around going to have to go. You're going to have to make a decision today and say, if I'm going to see the glory, I'm going to have to let that go. Tell somebody you ain't going to be able to carry this and that. Make a choice. So make a choice. You ain't going to be able to carry both of them. You ain't going to be able to carry. And I know you want to walk in the glory. I understand that. But in order to walk in this glory, you're going to have to let that go. Oh, Jesus, I don't even know what your that is, but whatever that is, you're going to have to let it go. You're going to have to let it go.